Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! Oh no, here we go. Anyway, I love you all so much. And look at Starlight got married. Ah, who's the lucky guy? I know. Who's that lucky guy? So Starlight got married. Look at that. Look at all those stones in there. So anyway, I love you all, and I hope you're getting out in nature like Starlight is. Plus, I hope you're taking good care of yourself and your loved ones. So important. God first, you, and then your loved ones, you know, and then everyone else. So anyway, I love you so much. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't be afraid, don't be shy, swing by and say hi to Starlight by leaving a comment down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also share my videos with your family, your friends. Alligators and lizards. Yes, there's some alligators out here. Where are they? So yes, there is alligators out here somewhere. Also, not only you could share with them, is you could check out my playlist. Plus, you could find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. And any of you that would like to send some love Starlight's way, she would love to receive that love. And you can do that on my Instagram. Not my Instagram, my Cash App. Sorry about that. And I will leave the information here. And if you don't have Cash App and you would love to donate to Starlight, because really nobody has a clue what I go through on this journey here. I mean, just what happened overnight. Wow, mind blown. So yes, you could do that. So the information will be here on my video. And if you don't have it, you can easily, download it and send Starlight some love by giving her some help here on her YouTube channel. And also, a big, huge thank you to all of you who have been here loving and supporting Starlight. And those of you who like my videos, those who watch my videos or subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus leaving me a comment down below, or you share my videos. Thank you all for being here, loving and supporting Starlight. So today is because I don't know, I believe the universe gives me some messages, and as long as that message gets one person, I did my job. That's what matters, So today's video is about, are there people or things that are distracting you? That's what this one's about today. I have to say, there's people out there, things can distract you, and you could be working on goals, you could be working, maybe you're on a mission like Starlight, and I'll tell you what, this is no easy journey to be on that I'm on, we're all on a journey somehow or another, but I'm a light worker, a chosen one, so this is like, I'm going through some tough hardcore training with God, and it can be exciting and mind-blowing all the time, and at other times it is something else. The other things that happen on this journey, or could happen, and it's so important, though, whatever you're going through, is to be positive and keep on trusting that all is well. So, but right now it's about people and things that take you off your path, that takes you off of what you're working on. Some of you, you could have been like getting inspired by watching videos, and now something's pulled you aside, something's actually, taken you off your where you were, and people say, hey, something goes on when that happens, and you got to be careful, because there's going to be people sent your way to take you off your path, and it's happened along my journey, believe me. Your closest ones, those are the ones that this force out here would love to use is the ones that are closest to you. And that's why you got to like, hey, are they helping me to evolve? And that could be your family, your friends, your loved ones, whoever, and that's what you got to watch out for. There's people that think, hey, you're my friend. You're doing stuff to help me out. You buy me things, when I need help. But you got to watch out for that, because I used to think that way too. I thought, hey, they're helping me out. I'm helping them out. But are you going in the same, the same direction? Are you, what are their goals in life? What are your goals? Are they different? Are you on a different path? So you got to be careful. Like here, I'm on this beautiful path out here. And, this is, I'll tell you what, this path here, you definitely got to watch where you're walking, because it's got a lot of roots here. But, and that's the same with life, is that you got to watch where you're walking in life, because, you could be going somewhere and doing stuff. And some people, what happens many times with people is that they get lonely. They get lonely. They don't want to be alone. They want company. They want somebody to hang out with. They want to talk to somebody. They want to, open up and laugh with somebody, talk, do things together with somebody. And, you got to be careful with that, is because, and I'll tell you what, I'm on this journey and I'm never alone. God is always sending somebody on my path, on this journey where I can help inspire, or they can help inspire me, where we can actually exchange information and wisdom, to inspire each other. And that's awesome. But you got to really be careful. You're going to get some people that come on your path in life, and you're going to believe, hey, they helped me out. They did something. They said a kind word. But are they going in the same direction as you? Because everybody's wearing a mask, so you got to be careful, People can be so fake, and you don't know, do you know what their intentions are? Do you know what, how do they, you got to be careful, because it could throw you off your path and all your goals that you've been working on. And this happened many, 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 many times. I used to get so frustrated, and, I felt like I was going in circles, because, my memory a long time ago, I would learn a lesson and get back, and do it all over again. And that's exactly what I did. I did it all over again. I kind of forgot the lesson. And I would let people come into my life, and I had 2 kids, and I would have people that would want to come and visit Starlight and stay at my house for hours. So the housework wouldn't get done, and the dishes would pile up. When I was really young and I had 2 kids, I was a different person way back then, and I used to get so frustrated wondering, why is my house a mess? Well, because, people kept on coming in my house, knocking on the door all hours of the day and night, and I wasn't getting a break. And then there's times, of course, Starlight was going to people's houses, and visiting them. And then I'd get home and I'd get overwhelmed, because I would look at my apartment, where I was living, and I'm like, oh man, look at all this work I have. Because, when I was younger, I used to smoke marijuana, and I used to at nighttime drink beer, and I never did that in front of my kids. But, man, that door, people would be in and out of my apartment, and it was a lot, because nothing was getting done. And I would get overwhelmed, because, I like to have the house clean before anybody would come and visit. But how could I have any time to clean? Because I felt like I was rude if I, cleaned, it is rude, if somebody comes to your house and that's all they're doing is cleaning, right? So, I would enjoy their company, but then when they leave, oh, now I got to get dinner ready, and now I got to get my kids to bed, get them ready for school. Oh, now I got to get to bed myself, because I got to wake up the next morning. Before you know it, the next morning, I got to get the kids dropped off, to go to school. Now I got to go to work, and, it would happen all over again. And so you got to really watch out. There's people that will be sent your way, and you're going to always be tested. We're always tested by God. God's going to, there's times that we're working on stuff, but we're half-heartedly, and we're half-heartedly into that thing. God puts something on your heart, and you're like, oh yes, I want that. Or maybe a relationship or a job, or there's something that you desire in your life, and you just can't seem to, you see it in your, just like on a trail here, you can see it from far distance, the thing that you desire, but it seems like you never get to that desire that you want to manifest, because something is always getting in your path, on your path, and taking you off of it, and then you end up forgetting what you were even doing. What was I doing? You were working on your plan, your future, Starlight. And look at you, entertain other people, and before you know it, time goes by, and what did you get done? You didn't get nothing done, because people would just keep showing up. So, and you got to be careful, because, there's, especially when it comes to music, movies, games, football, sports, movies, music, drugs, alcohol, different kind of things like that. You might find somebody that you have a lot of interest in, like, hey, we both like to smoke marijuana together, and talk and laugh and have music and dance. And now it's thrown you off your path. Now you're not really, there's, what it is that God had messages for you, but you totally missed them, because now you got distracted. Somebody pulled you aside and got you distracted on other things that really, so you got to be strong. You got to really, there's going to be so many temptations in our life, and we got to be strong and say, no, now I got to figure out what gets me into that again, and I had a struggle with marijuana, to let go of marijuana, the smell of it. I mean, at this day, I'm like, wow, the smell. But you know what? I don't want to do it again, because it was distracting me, before you know it, hours are gone, and I didn't get anything done except for get high. So so there's things out there that could distract you and take you off your path, where now, before you were interested in working on yourself, you were interested in watching things that would inspire you. Now something distracted you, where now you don't have time. You don't have time to work on yourself, because something came in, and now it's distracted you and pulled you aside, where it's, just like a guy or a girl, hang on, is that you got to be careful. You got to, if you got a plan in your life that you want to work on, just to let you know, at a certain point, it gets all wet, and then you can't.
Oh,
so I'm just letting you know.
That
Yeah,
is good to know.
yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you really got to stay focused and be strong when it comes to temptations. Temptations could be anything. It could be people. Are they really helping you? And like I said, people could be there helping you with different things, or even buying stuff for you to help you out financially. But if you're not working on yourself anymore, like if I just decided, hey, I'm not going to read my Bible today, I'm not going to meditate today, I'm not going to do yoga today, I'm not going to exercise, I'm not going to get out in nature, I'll tell you what, my world can go upside down really fast, because God wants me to do these things, and God pulled me away from my marijuana. So I have to be strong, I have to be diligent, I have to be consistent, I have to be strong when it comes to temptations, and the kind of people that I keep company with. What kind of company do you keep, in your life? Are you around people that help you to work on your goals? Are you around people that are pulling you away from the things that you wanted to work on? That you have to, and that's why you got to be careful. You got to be picky when it comes to having people in your life. So anyway, I hope you really, even the things out there, there's a lot of temptations, like watching too many movies, for hours, so you do. And they say in everything in moderation, and that's a good rule to go by, in everything in moderation. So, if you watch a movie, watch only an hour. You don't have to watch 4 hours. Football, I don't know what to tell you on there, because people want to, I knew a person that they would check what the news said, because they didn't want to sit there for, who knows how many hours to watch, the football game, and, once a week or whatever, because I used to do that myself. They had stuff to do. They had things that needed to get done. They knew that if they didn't get those things done, it was just going to pile up. And just like your spirituality, do you think things are going to get better for you if you're not working on yourself and, working on being positive and working on meditation and, spiritual stuff or exercise? No, it's going to, bring more people and more things in your life that will even distract you even more, because that force out there doesn't want you to work on yourself. So anyway, hang on, I got to get in the shade a little bit here. I'm telling you, you can do whatever you want to do. But if I have to be careful of the kind of people that I have in my life. I got family members that want me to come and visit, and I'm like, I can't come and visit. Why? Because they're going to think I'm going to just sit there, because that's what I used to do before. Sit there all day long and talk. Guess what? I got a lot of other stuff that I need to do. And what are we going to talk about? It's not going to be anything to edify me and help me grow. No, absolutely not. It's not going to help me to become my greatest version or be the change. No, it's going to take me, it's going to take me back that way. I don't want to go back that way. I'm going this way. I'm going in front of me, I'm going this way. I'm not going backwards anymore. So you got to be careful. People are, that's what they're going to do. They're going to pull you backwards if you don't protect your energy. And I know you're lonely, but is it worth it? Is it worth sacrificing everything that you want to work for? Because those people are going to be sent your way, because God's going to test your heart. You're like, hey, I want this and I desire that. Well, you're going to be tested. I have been tested. I've gone through so much on this journey of test after test after test after test. And last night, whoa, what a test, now that was a huge test, So you really got to be mindful of the kind of things that you're doing right now. Is it pulling you away from growing? Are the people helping you grow? Are they inspiring you to grow? Are they inspiring you to do I am affirmations or read your Bible or get out in nature? And, or are they inspiring you to go that way and, down back in the past, where you already came from, bringing you back from the same hole that you crawled out of, like a card game. You don't want to go back in the hole, when you are losing the game. And it's hard to get back out of the hole once you get in the hole, in life, and that's why it's so important to protect yourself and be mindful of the kind of people that you have in your life. I love you so much. You can give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you could share my videos with your family, your friends. I hear a dog barking. And I'm going to say a unicorn. Where did the unicorn come from? I don't know. Unicorns are out here somewhere. Where are you guys? So anyway, besides sharing my videos with a unicorn and a dog, you can also check out my playlist. And you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. Do whatever you're going to do. You're going to do what you want to do. But God knows you inside and out like you have no clue. God knows your heart. God knows every little secret that you ever could even imagine. So, God would like you to, be cautious of what you're doing, because it could pull you back in the hole and you don't want to go back there. And it is very hard. It is very hard. And it's not a very happy place to be in the hole, is it? Isn't that a happy place to be, in the hole and you can't get out? Right? Imagine you being in a hole and you can't get back out. Well, that's exactly what it's going to feel like. You're going to and you're going to pray to God, I hope, right? Help me get out of this hole. But you got to learn your lessons now, is to really be careful of the kind of people that you have in your life and the things that you're doing that will occupy your time. I love you so much. I really do. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.